From coach, and then we go to questions in the room. We got a mic.
Yeah, really nice win for us. We obviously got off to a really slow start. They came out with a lot of energy and they were out working us to start the game. But fortunately, we picked it up. I thought when we put Pow Pow in, it just had a different energy about us. Uh, Good second quarter to take the lead going into the half. Really good third quarter to kind of extend the lead. And fortunately, we were able to close it out with a win.
Coach, we saw 43 combined turnovers. I think both teams tied their season high. What was it about the game for both teams? Was it kind of the defense causing it? Was just kind of like sloppy offense?
Well, I think both teams put a lot of pressure on the ball. So, obviously neither team is going to be happy with how many times they turned it over. For us, a lot of those turnovers were early in the first quarter. I think we weren't quite ready for the amount of pressure they were going to put on us. And by the time we got adjusted to it, once we got adjusted to it, I thought we got a lot of good shots. Obviously, we ended up scoring a lot of points. We do have to be a little better with some of our uh, they have good length, they have good athleticism. So a pass that you think there's just enough room to get there, there really isn't enough room to get there because they close out or close those gaps so quickly. So you just have to be really solid with your decision making. Uh, After the first quarter, I mean, we still had turnovers, but we had a lot of good shots and a lot of good ball movement and a lot of people contributing. So really happy with particularly the last three quarters of the game.
Coach, I wanted to ask you about the connection
Did
between.
somebody steal your seat?
Yeah, man, it happens. I've tried to switch it up on you. That's all.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. But no, I wanted to ask you about the connection between Jordan and Bree. They seem to have this like almost telepathic connection right underneath the basket. What have you noticed about what makes their relationship so special when they're on the court?
I think they're both really good players. And, obviously that's a really tough situation for defenders to be in, especially off a ball screen. It's, you wouldn't want to switch that. So if Bree sets a really good screen and JC can start creating some space off the ball screen and we get a good roll, it makes it tough. And I think JC knows that. That's an opportunity for her to get an easy assist. So and JC looks for in transition, looks for the post ups on throwbacks and things like that. So uh, I think JC is a smart player and knows that we have a great post player in Bree and that she needs her touches, so she keeps her involved in the game.
Coach, you mentioned the adjustment. Like there was an adjustment that happened, and once the adjustment occurred, then we saw something different on the court. In particular, in your opinion, what was the adjustment from you?
Uh, I thought we started to play harder. This wasn't like we dramatically changed strategy; just the energy changed, and I give Pow Pow a lot of credit for that. I thought when she came in, the pace picked up. All of a sudden, we got out in transition. We got a couple easier baskets in transition, and suddenly our defensive intensity picked up. That led to forcing turnovers, which gave us more opportunities in transition, which also got the crowd involved. So, I just thought we've been playing well and kind of human nature. You think, oh, we'll just come out here and play well. No, you played well because of how hard you were playing. And if you're not going to play that hard, you're not going to play well. And I think it kind of kicked in for us, and we kind of looked like ourselves after the first quarter.
Bree had a big night tonight, a big game tonight. Could you talk about her just performance and how proud of you?
Yeah, she's a fantastic player. Uh, she's got great footwork in there in the post. She gets deep seals for us. Knockdown three. I mean, she does it all. I think was she 9 to 10, something like that. I don't. I mean, super efficient. Uh, she gets super deep post ups and she works to get good shots in there. She's just a great player and uh, fortunately we got her the ball enough to have that kind of night.
Coach, having both Jordan and Pow Pow on the floor, what does that do for your offense?
Well, it makes us pretty quick, and the addition of Pow Pow adds another shooter out there that you have to pay a lot of attention to, which creates more space for a Bree or we were able to drive some and get to the rim too. So I think there's some benefits as long as we can have some good matchups on the other end. It's something that we definitely want to explore more, having both of them play together.
Coach, it's always next player up. And how important was it even tonight having 5 players in double figures?
Well, we needed a lot of people to contribute, especially when we, got behind. And, you know, I think I don't know, we were maybe 7 minutes. I misremember a lot of these things, but it seemed like the first 5, 6 minutes, Leash was the only one who scored for us. Like I don't remember anybody else scoring, So she kind of kept us in it at the beginning, and then all of a sudden, everybody started contributing, and we started to have energy, and the ball was moving, and it was just a lot more I would assume it was a lot more fun to watch um, than that first part of the game.
Coach, you talk about your bench and all of your players playing to the end. You get Nia Coffee, who finished with 15 points, but 10 points specifically in that fourth quarter. Could you talk about a little bit what you were seeing from her and how beneficial that was to close the game?
Yeah, obviously with BG out, she's going to be in the rotation and play more minutes. And I thought she did a really good job with it. She looked for an opportunity to aggressively attack the basket. She played good defense. Then, she's a good shooter and hadn't shot the ball well recently. So to knock down those 2 threes, I think will be a really good feeling for her going forward. But I think she did a great job with the minutes that she was given and the opportunity.
Coach, this is a two-part question. This week was pretty jam-packed. You guys had a lot of games in the last 7 days, and we're like one basket away from going undefeated during that time. What was really the key to this week's success? And then the second part is, you guys have a long road stretch against some top teams. What about this week gives you confidence heading into that stretch?
Well, that's a tough 2-part question because I'm not sure. I mean, we just have been playing well. There's not a lot of time between the games to work on a lot of things. So you just have a little bit of time to go over some key points that you want to emphasize for any particular game. And I think our players have been pretty locked into what we want to get accomplished, and they've been playing great. Now we've got, I don't, 2 solid weeks on the road. I don't know how often that happens in the W, but that's what's in front of us right now. But we've played well on the road as of late. So hopefully we get a little bit of rest tomorrow. We come back in, try to get prepared for the next game. And, it's cliche, but you got one game in front of you. You get ready for that game. And then after the game, it's like, oh, yeah, we got another one in 2 days. And you try to get everybody healthy, rested, and then still prepared for the key points in the game.
With the win like this, what do you say that it does for the team's confidence?
I do think there's something about, when another team has a significant lead and you come back, at least when it happens again, you've been in that position before. And if you start doing things the right way, you at least have an opportunity to get back in the game. So, every situation is a learning experience. Hopefully we learned a couple things. One, you better be ready to go from the jump. There's too many good players in this league on all these teams. And if you're not ready, you're going to dig yourself a hole. Two, you just got to keep playing. Usually the biggest adjustment that needs to be made is just, play a little bit harder and more together. And, I thought we did a good job of that today. Thank you.
Take it away.
Hey Naz, this is your second over here. Sorry, this is your second double double of the season. You had 14 and 13. What is going through your mind when you're scoring and crashing the boards?
I think, like I continue to say, like it's always just how can I be the best version of myself for my team. And tonight I think that was rebounding, but they also put me in great position. Allisha got me a couple of great assists to knock down some buckets. Everybody on the team does. Jordan, I can go through the line, but just like I said, doing whatever is necessary to get a team win.
Hey, this question for Allisha. In that first quarter, you took over the main scoring duty. Do you make a point of doing that when 2 of the other starters are out of the game?
Yeah, I know I have to be aggressive and being one of the main scorers on the court, I know I can't pass up shots, so I have to be aggressive as much as I can.
Leash, the first quarter.
Oh, hey.
Going over here.
This first quarter, y'all came out a little slow. What would you attribute that to? Because y'all turned it up, but it looks like, the fans were standing up for a long time before y'all scored the first one.
Yeah, they were standing up for me. I'll say our turnovers, just turn the ball over. We turned the ball over a lot. We had 21 turnovers and probably about 18 of those in the first quarter. So yeah, it was turnovers.
Piggybacking off of that, y'all, Coach said he attributed to Powell coming in that, I think in that first quarter, and the energy that she brought. And this for questions for either one of you, if you want to talk about Powell's energy and her, just the grace and things that she did in her minutes.
Yeah, I think that we've been able to see that all year long. Like when she comes in, she brings a spark. I think usually when she comes in, we're looking for the 3 ball, but like her defense has really picked up. She was able to get downhill. She's distributing the ball very well. So I think again, like Powell has showed glimpses of this, but being able to have that opportunity to really be a spark today was exactly what we needed. And she's just growing throughout the season. And like I said, at first it might have been just threes, but she's doing a little bit of everything right now. And she's being a star in that role.
For the past 2 games, you've all have won the third quarter. Has there been increased focus on coming out of halftime with more energy?
Yeah, that's always the goal, to always make the other team call the first time out. We always want to punch first and never get punched.
Coach was asked pregame about you being in the MVP conversation, Allisha. And then while you were at the line, we heard some MVP chants. Is that something that you hear as a player whenever when the game's going on?
I don't really pay attention to it. Like I'm just locked in. I just let my game speak for itself. The way I've been playing, the accolades speak for me, so I don't have to even touch on that stuff. I let my game take care of it.
And this question is for Allisha. You came into the game averaging 25 points against the Mystics this season and had another 22 tonight. What about this team brings out the best in you?
I'm just hooping for real. I'm just playing my game on, just finding my spots. I know they play me very aggressive, so it's just being able to read my defenders and being aggressive and don't get pumped.
This question's for both of you guys. You have a long road trip coming up. What about this week can you take, momentum wise going into the next couple games?
Yeah, I think we finally have a couple of days of practice. I don't remember really if we had any practice, so I think that's going to be essential for us to go in and watch some film and see what we can continue to build on, but also what we need some work at. And we're going to break that down and just continue to try to get better. We know that it's tough playing in this league on the road. I mean, any game, but especially on the road. So keeping our focus and then just not being complacent. Like we had 2 good wins, but there's always going to be something that we could be better at. And we're going to make sure that we focus on that heading onto the road and just making sure we recover, get healthy or stay healthy, rest our bodies and be ready.
Naz, it was a possession. I want to say this was late third quarter. You had 3 back-to-back offensive rebounds. And I thought of that possession. I said to myself, like, this is the epitome of like Naz Hillmon basketball. When you look at that, how do you like epitomize that in terms of like looking at this entire team and what you really bring to the team?
Yeah, like I continue to say, like I just want to come in and do the little things or the dirty work or the things that don't show up on the stat sheet. Rebounds obviously do, so I mean that's always nice. But I mean it ended up with an open 3. We actually had 2 good shots prior to that, and then like I said, it ended up with an open 3. I think for Leash, and that's just what it is, and it's always a backbreaker. Like if you're on the other side of that, it's the other team getting 3 offensive rebounds. Like that's tough, that's frustrating. And then to end with the bucket. I mean that's exactly what I want to do every single night.
Leash, what has made you proud about this team so far this season? Y'all have been in a lot of tough games, but y'all have lost players. You still been able to win some games and still have a third place currently. What has made you the proudest about this team so far?
I think it's our preparation. I think the coaches prepare us very well in the scout. Very detailed scout, so we literally know everything. So I'll say I give it to the coaches. I mean, they're very detailed in preparing us. So and teammates staying ready too. Like you have Powell coming in and playing. How many minutes he played? 32 minutes, and she was ready and played consistent the whole game. So I would say the preparation.
Yes.